All right, let's dive into something that I think is going to hit home for a lot of us. We're talking about that incredible spark of curiosity we all had as kids, and how maybe we can fight to keep it alive. Just think about it for a second. Do you remember that feeling? When the world was this giant, amazing puzzle, and you just had to know how every single piece worked and fit together? So, yeah, let's really dig into that feeling. Let's remember that spark, back when our only job really was to just wonder about absolutely everything. And this just nails what that looked like, right? It wasn't about some huge philosophical questions. Nope. It was about what was right in front of us. That smell coming from the kitchen, that was a mystery you had to solve. Dad's job, it was some secret, fascinating world you just had to see. You just wanted to be in on the action all the time. And the author actually gives this amazing feeling a name, the childhood spark. And it's defined as that natural built-in drive, not just to learn, but to do. It's this powerful mix of being curious and just wanting to get your hands dirty. Which, of course, brings us to the big, kind of tough question. For so many of us, as we get older, that intense fire of curiosity, it just seems to dim a little. So where does it go? And more importantly, does it really have to fade away? Well, that's what we're getting into next. This isn't about looking back anymore. It's about what we can do right now. It's about making a conscious choice, a real effort to keep that curiosity going. And I love this perspective. The author here feels blessed to still have that curiosity. It's not seen as something childish to be embarrassed about, but as a genuine gift that's stuck around. That's a huge shift in thinking, isn't it? To see curiosity not as something you outgrow, but as something you protect and cherish. So you might be wondering, okay, how do you actually do that? Well, this is the practical side of it. It's not some vague idea. It's about real, tangible things. Drawing, reading, cooking, writing. Each one of these is like a little act of stoking that fire, of keeping that childhood flame bright. Now this is where it gets so real. The spark is totally there. That desire to learn how to skate is burning bright. But then, bam, it runs right into a classic adult problem: reality. In this case, money. It's that constant battle between what our inner kid wants to do and what our real-world circumstances allow. But here's the beautiful part. That roadblock doesn't kill the dream. And that's so powerful. It's about seeing the problem, acknowledging it, but then making a promise to yourself for the future. The dream isn't gone. It's just on pause. But even with all that hope, there's still this shadow lurking in the background, this real fear about what growing up, what adulthood really means for that spark. And there it is, just laid out so honestly. This is a fear that I think hits a nerve with almost everyone. This idea that the daily grind, the responsibilities, just the sheer weight of being a grown-up could one day just swallow that curious, wonderful part of you whole. So you have to ask, why share this fear? Why put it out there? Well, this final part shows us that there's a much deeper reason for this whole reflection. It's not just a worry, it's actually a plan of action. And here's the key to the whole thing. It turns out that by just saying the fear out loud, by telling this story, the author is actively fighting it. It's like by putting it into words, you're making a promise to yourself to stay curious. You're drawing a line in the sand and saying, nope, this spark is way too important to let go. And that just leaves us with one final thought, a question that's really for you. This whole story is such a great reminder that our childhood curiosity doesn't just have to be a fond memory. It can be a living, breathing part of who we are right now. So the real question is, how are you preserving your spark? Thanks for joining me.